why guys hit it and quit it, why they smash and dash, why guys may go out on 1, 2, 3, maybe even 10, 15 dates, hit it, then stop talking to you or slowly trail off. Why is it that this happens? Now, a lot of women are going to feel like, guys just do it and there's nothing you could do about it. And that's just how guys are. They just players. In some cases, that may be the case. But I know people don't like to take any responsibility for their own life. And I know it's easier to be a victim. But for those of you who want to know some of the things that you can do, you got to understand that men are not that different from you. When you deal with a guy, a lot of times you may really like the guy. You might really want to be in a relationship with the guy. You might see a future. But certain things happen along the way, and that causes you to change your mind. The only difference between men and women is normally a guy is going to still hit it. Whereas you probably wouldn't go out with him anymore, or you might just go on some dates with the dude, get a couple dinners, but never go any further. So that's kind of the difference. But there are things that happen along the way as far as what you do on dates, what you say, what you don't say, all of those kind of things that can cause it to go from a possible relationship situation to a hit it and quit it. And for those of you who want to know and want to know what you can do about it, here are 3 things that you might be doing that could turn it into a hit and quit it situation. The number 1 thing that might cause a guy to decide to hit it and quit it rather than turn it into a relationship is shaming. See, a lot of times when you go out on a date with a guy, he's going to give you the blueprint to be in a relationship with him and tell you what he wants and doesn't want from the situation. He may do this in the form of questions. He may do this in the form of just telling you exactly what it is he needs or wants. Now, what a lot of women do in this situation is when they don't want to do the things that the guy wants, or they don't really feel like that's what they want their role in a relationship to be, they try to shame the guy into thinking differently. Like, for instance, a dude's like, I want to be with a girl that cooks me 3 meals a day. Well, I'm not going to be somebody's mom. If you want a girl like that, why do you want somebody to be your mother? I wouldn't even be with somebody like that. Now, you might actually like the guy, but you're trying to convince him to want what you're willing to give. Now, generally what happens in this situation is the person seems like they agree with you, but they really don't. They just smash and dash. In some cases, you might even get where you spend a lot of time with the guy, might even get pregnant and have a relationship that happened for a few years, but it's never going to be a situation where the person is really invested in you because you're not what they're looking for, which they told you up front. Just because you shame people into saying something different than what they originally said, that doesn't mean that they changed their mind. That doesn't mean that they want anything different. That just means that they're no longer telling you what they want. And they might even be trying to hide what they want from themselves or pretend to want to be something different because that's what people are telling them. But it doesn't change what they actually want. So you might go out on more dates with them. Things may work out for a little while. But ultimately, if a person is sitting here telling you that they want a certain thing, never try to shame. Just be real with yourself. If I'm willing and able to provide what it is you want, then we could go forward in this relationship. If not, we both need to find somebody that we're more compatible with. I know you might think somebody is cute. You might think they're funny. You might think they're smart and all of those things. And that's cool. But if they're not compatible, if you're not willing or able to give them what they want, then you're putting yourself in a situation where it's going to be a hit it and quit it eventually. Or it's going to be a situation where you waste a lot of time only to find out that it never could be and you're going to get dumped ultimately anyway. Or they might cheat on you or whatever and then you end up having to dump them. But either way, you're wasting your time. Number 2, this is a big one. Faking feelings. What do I mean by that? Pretending like you're cool with being a friend with benefits or being in a situation where it's casual sex or casual type of relationship when you're really not. What do you expect? If you're going to sit here and pretend like you want something that you really don't want, then that's what you're probably going to get. Now, unfortunately, what you have to understand is if you're dealing with a guy of a high caliber and you're saying, I want to be friends with benefits, you're probably going to end up with nothing. If you're like, I'm not really looking for anything serious right now. I just want to chill. I'm not really trying to do nothing. If you're saying those types of things, you're constantly putting that energy out there. Well, yeah, dude is probably going to smash a few times, but guess what? He's probably not going to want to keep up any of the efforts that go into even making you a friend with benefits. Here's what a lot of people don't understand. When a guy is handsome, when a guy has game, when a guy is stable financially, he's got a lot of people who are going to be willing to have sex with him. Just how it is. He's going to have 4 or 5 chicks at any given time that are going to be available for that. Even if he's not calling them every time or whatever, they're going to be available. So investing his time and energy into a friends with benefits situation isn't really going to be a major priority for him most of the time. Even if you kind of are friends with benefit, it's going to be a I call you every 3 or 4 weeks type of thing, or I call you every couple of weeks, rather than I'm over here calling you every day. We sitting on the couch, hanging out and all that kind of stuff. Most of the time when a guy is out here with the ability to get a lot of girls because of his situation, he's not in a situation where the friends with benefits thing is going to be a priority for him. So if you're sitting here saying that's what you're looking for, or you're trying to pretend like you don't want anything serious, most of the time, all you're going to be is a smash and dash type of situation. Now, you might be repeatedly smashed and dashed, but it's not going to be a situation where the person puts that friends with benefits energy into it. It's going to be most of the time, I hit it on Tuesday, I'll call you back Tuesday in 2021. Number 3, demanding. A lot of times you like somebody a whole lot and you feel like to make this work, I need to demand a relationship. I need to demand more and more from this person. Well, the reality is you need to maintain what you want to do and what you're comfortable with, and you need to allow them to do the same. So if you feel like I need to smash this person and have sex with them on the first 2 or 3 dates or whatever situation is, now because I did that, I'm no longer comfortable. I'm no longer happy with the situation. So I need this person to step up and get out of their comfort zone. What you're really doing is putting yourself in a position where you're going to lose. Now you're trying to demand that somebody give you something that has to be freely given. You're saying, well, we sleeping together. We need to be in a relationship. This person is like, when did I sign up for that? Why should I call you back now? You're annoying me. You're being annoying because now you decided to do something you weren't comfortable with. Now you want me to step outside of my comfort zone. You don't want to put a person in that situation because all it does is make them want to avoid you. That's how you end up with the hit it and quit it. That's how you end up with the smash and dash. What you want to do instead is maintain your boundaries so that they can maintain theirs. If you're like, okay, this isn't a relationship, well, I'm not going to treat it like a relationship. If this is a situation where I don't know exactly where this is going, well, I'm going to treat it like I don't know where it's going. Okay, if I'm not busy, then I'll hang out with you. But if I am, then I won't. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you become so invested that you have to start demanding. That's kind of like loaning people money, where you start giving things, expecting something in return. You don't always get it. Now you get mad, now you get upset, and you start becoming someone that they avoid. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So be careful about demanding. Make sure that it's a mutual thing where you're both giving what you want to give and what you're comfortable with. And that keeps the situation continuous. Now, hopefully I was able to help you out. I know a lot of y'all are still going to be like, well, this happens to me and I never mess up. I never do any of these things. Well, you might want to look again at your situation and reevaluate. One of the best things we have going for us is really just understanding who we are and keeping it real with ourselves. If you can look at some of the situations where you may have made a few mistakes, it helps you going forward so you don't keep running into the same problem over and over again.